Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
If
Welcome to part 2.
Yes, this is part 2. So if you didn't listen to part 1, you're about to get some spoilers. So go back and listen to the episode that dropped on Monday.
Yeah, do not listen to this one. We're giving you ample time right now.
Yes.
Okay. So your guess from last episode was that it was the dude from the bar.
Yes.
34-year-old David is the one who offed Lena, right? Mm-hmm. You are spot on.
I knew it.
That was exactly it.
Okay.
I should have done better. I should have thrown some more red herrings in there.
Yeah, you got to give me a couple of suspects and stories next time.
I honestly was trying to tweak too closely to to this actual case. And when I tell you what the name of this case is, you're going to be like, "Oh, yes, I know that."
Okay, so what is it?
The Hello Kitty murder.
I actually don't know that.
Seriously?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the real victim's name was Fan Man Yi. I might be butchering that. But her skull that they found was actually sewn inside the head of a Hello Kitty doll that was stuffed with dead bugs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, where did this happen?
This was in China. So this happened in Hong Kong.
Okay, that's okay. So I do listen to a lot of true crime, but a lot of it is more like American or Canadian.
So you've never heard of this one?
No, but Bella probably has because she listens to that
she listens
Rotten
to
Mango podcast and do a lot
you know
of
what?
stuff
I think
over there.
she's the one who originally told me about this.
Yeah,
I need to ask
that
her.
is so creepy.
Okay,
oh my gosh.
so here's what really happened.
Okay.
So this is like a world-renowned case because of how it transpired.
Yeah.
So Fan Man Yi was born in 1976 in Shenzhen, China. So as a child, like I said, she was abandoned, grew up in an all-girls orphanage, and that orphanage was in Ma Tau Wai, I believe, and that's in Hong Kong. And when she turned 15, that's the age at which she was out of the system.
15, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Very, very young. And so she had no family, no support. And, being homeless, like many girls in that position, she went to prostitution for survival.
Yeah, you have no family, no nothing to count on. What choice do you have?
Exactly.
Poor thing.
Developed a drug addiction and then became a street prostitute before working in a brothel called Romance Villa, and that was in Sham Shui Po, I think. Again,
forgive our pronunciations.
I'm trying here. And so she did marry. His name was In Chi Yun in 1996. They did have the son together.
Okay.
And it was very violent, frequent screams, objects breaking.
The neighbors
all the time.
reporting.
Yes.
Okay.
And so again, very abusive relationship.
Yeah.
They weren't good for each other. And she made the decision to leave and try to start over.
Okay.
There was a lot of speculation as far as if she was actually trying to turn her life around or if she was just getting away from her husband. A lot of things that I read, it was... No, she was kind of still dabbling in that.
Sure.
She did leave her husband, and then a lot of reports are like, no, she was really trying to turn her life around.
Yeah. Seems like nobody really was close enough to her, to really be able to say for sure, right?
And so at this point, she's 23 years old. She's still super young.
Yeah.
And working at this nightclub and her past, she did not make a good choice when she stole the wallet.
Yeah.
And so in the case of the regular, his name was actually Chan Manalok, and he was a 34-year-old member of the Wu Xing Wo triad.
Oh,
so he had gang affiliation.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's conflicting reports to how much money she actually took from him, ranging from a few $100s up to a couple $1,000s.
Yeah. But you piss somebody like that off, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And so all of them across the board say that Chan did want more money from her. He wanted to be more than compensated for the inconvenience and the sheer audacity that she would steal from him.
Sure, yeah.
So
I wonder if she knew who he was. Like, I mean, obviously he was a regular, but so I guess she probably did know who he was.
Yeah, and she probably also thought he's not going to notice.
That's true.
Like why would he suspect her of
I mean, if you're the
stealing?
kind of person walking around with thousands of dollars in your pocket, money's probably not a big deal.
My thought on that is that they were familiar enough that she would think he wouldn't look too closely at her for stealing his wallet.
Yeah.
But
she was wrong.
Yep.
Okay.
So on March 17th of 1999, Fan was actually kidnapped from her flat in Lai Estate. And those involved were Chen Manlok, Liang Wai Yun, Liang Xing Cho, and Lao Ming Fong, a 14-year-old girl that was
What?
being groomed by Chan.
Oh,
Yes, but this was his girlfriend.
that's sad.
Yeah. So Fan was taken to an apartment at 31 Granville Road in Simsha, Sioux. The apartment was rented by Chan.
Okay.
It was his apartment. You asked that question in
that's why you
episode
couldn't
1.
tell me.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's why I couldn't tell you. The owners of the apartment were just two dudes known as Assam and Akau, but they were reportedly never involved in the crime. They didn't live there. They just strictly rented it out to Chan.
So they had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was taken to that apartment, and the idea was that Chan was going to make her basically like his prostitute. He was going to start pimping her out again.
Okay.
Because she hadn't paid him back yet.
And she owes him, and
yeah,
he's arrogant. Yeah.
yeah. So he held her for about a month, maybe slightly longer. And during that time, she was sexually assaulted, beaten, tortured, burned with cigarettes and other hot objects.
Horrible.
And I mean, just subjected to just a prolonged
Yeah.
escalating abuse.
Right.
And Chan initially intended to force her back into prostitution so that he could make back more and more money. The suspect is that she eventually succumbed to her injuries.
Yeah.
And
Died, so
Died,
they had to get rid of her.
so you were asking if there was a report how police found her body.
Yeah.
And in April of 1999, police were contacted after Lao Ming Fong, the 14-year-old girlfriend, it reports vary. It's 13, 14, somewhere.
She
in
was
there.
young.
Yeah,
Too young for him, regardless.
Yes,
Yes.
very sad.
Yeah.
That she supposedly told a social worker that she was being haunted by a fan's ghost, specifically by a headless woman.
Oh.
And she didn't say who it was.
Yeah.
She initially said by a headless woman that's haunting me. And she wanted to tell police. And so supposedly she leads them to the apartment
Okay.
saying this is where the ghost is. And again, there's some conflicting stuff on that. Sure. If she led them, she told them, there's a few varying degrees of stories there. So
One way or
correct
the other,
me if I'm
she let them
wrong.
know.
You guys let us know.
Yeah.
So some say she went to the police station, others say the social worker contacted them, and it was actually, she was at an all-girls school, and she told a social worker at the school that that's what was happening. So that's the social worker.
I was going to
that's
ask how the social worker was involved, but okay.
Let me just clarify there. And so when they get to the scene, they're looking, they kind of spot, oh, there's some blood here. And one of the things that I will say I didn't put in my notes, but I did read, was that they didn't clean her up. So she was essentially covered in her own feces, her own urine, and so much so that guys who he would bring to the apartment to pay to allow,
Right. Force her to
stop doing it because they were like, no, that's gross.
Yeah.
And so it was just him and the other three that would continue to do it.
Oh my gosh. Ugh.
And that's the report from, I'm assuming from the girl.
Yeah.
The Lao Ming.
Okay.
So when they're looking in the apartment, that's when they find the doll. And that's when
The Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so and of course I don't know how much the girl has shared with them.
Right.
Everything that she told. And a lot of it is speculation and hearsay from her that she told investigators, which is why they kind of have an idea of what happened. And so it was just her skull that was sewn inside of it, and the rest of it was like stuffed with dead bugs. And so they had taken her organs and put them in plastic bags and put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
The bone fragments that were found in the bathtub.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that if they dismembered her, that's where they did it because the blood would drain.
It did. I did read that supposedly they boiled her bones first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if that was to get to clean them easier for disposal.
Did they ever find the rest of her?
They did find some of her. Like
So
I
it
said,
was kind of disposed off different places.
but they didn't find everything.
That's
And so that's why they couldn't say definitively
How
this is
she
what
died.
killed her.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, again, is reports secondhand from, I'm assuming, the girl and maybe some other people on the fringes once these guys got arrested.
Okay.
And so all 4 of them were arrested,
Good.
including Lao Ming.
Yeah.
But due to her age, she was sentenced to detention in a youth facility.
Okay.
And so Chan...
And hopefully is receiving some really good psychiatric care after being groomed by a horrible human being like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's going to need it. And so all 3 of the men got life imprisonment.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so, it's just... This one was crazy to me.
Yeah, that is.
I am not familiar with these. You and our daughter are all about true crime.
Yes.
And so I assumed you would know this one.
For context, our daughter is in college and she's
Yes,
studying to be a medical examiner. So she obviously does like true crime just as much as I do. She's going to be living it every day. But anyways, yes.
Yeah, no, and showing an interest in it is... it's surprising that it took her this long to make a choice to get into that. As a big fan of like true crime documentaries, she has been since she was in high school.
Yes,
it's
high school.
Even before, like at late middle school.
Yeah.
She was always like, "Mom, what are you watching?"
But when I watch true crime shows, you'll be like, "Oh, wait, what just happened?" Like you get into it, you just don't voluntarily watch it.
It's like coming into the middle of a soap opera. You're like, why is there so much drama? Why does this person hate that person? What's going on? Now I gotta know. Yeah.
Because of life. That's why.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody at my office the other day, we were talking about it, and I was like, I listen to probably 6 or 7 true crime podcasts on a weekly basis, and I can tell you rule number 1 for not getting murdered is don't have an affair. 90%. Yeah. I'm not making eye contact with you when I say that, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's real lovely.
Don't have
assumption
an affair.
For our listeners now. Thank you. They're like, I didn't like that guy before, but now I really don't.
No, that was not personal. That was I'm just saying 90% of the podcast I listen to, somebody ends up dead because somebody was having an affair.
No,
somebody
honestly,
didn't like it.
It's what is it? Love, money,
and jealousy. No, wait. Love, money, and I don't know.
The 3 biggest causes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third one is. I think love and money are the 2 biggest.
So if you pay to have an affair, you're royally screwed.
You are in big trouble.
You're really going to get it. But no, this one was really sad.
Very sad.
She was just 23 years old and had just no shot. Just no chance.
Yeah. She started off in a bad place and couldn't get out of it.
No. And one thing that we do want to do with this, while we do have a little bit of fun in, our episode 1, and we do talk back and forth and banter, absolutely do we not want to disparage or besmirch any of the victims, downplay that, make light of their tragedy at all. And I will say her husband in the trials was like, y'all throw away the key.
Good.
Throw away the key.
Good. And hopefully he's cleaned himself up and is taking care of that baby. Or, it's not a baby anymore. But
I didn't really get that. That's why I was saying you're going to get mad at my research or lack thereof, because I didn't go do heavy
Where's the baby?
I know that the dad ended up raising the kid, and that he wanted to, and he was at the trial and he wouldn't understand. He wanted them to know that she was a mom.
Aww.
Like she was a mom. She, had a job.
Yeah.
He was advocating on her behalf.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think maybe there was some change that happened there. But
if she didn't have anybody to fight for her during her life, at least she had somebody advocating for her afterwards. So.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It's very sad. And in addition to that disclaimer, we also, in every episode on part 2, we are going to put out links to some different resources or organizations that we think are awesome, that are doing good for either victims,
victims' families,
things like that.
Or just general places where you can get help or things like that.
Yeah. So we'll always have those resources linked at the bottom of the episode. So definitely go check that out. And the one that we're going to highlight today is OUR. So it's Operation Underground Railroad, and their mission is to stop human trafficking. And so they will. This is from their website. So OUR Rescue is there when needed. We work with partners and communities around the globe to provide essential services to people who have been or could be sex trafficked and exploited. Our unique approach lies in the way that we integrate support and resources for law enforcement during rescue efforts and provide survivor care at scale, a critical differentiator that amplifies our impact.
Wow.
And so them, along with the Polaris Project, they're very similar to OUR in that they want to end trafficking. But one thing I want to highlight from them, and this is from their website, is in 2023, they created the Polaris Resilience Fund, a basic income pilot for survivors. And so the monthly cash assistance helps them gain economic stability, affords them time to heal, and reduces their vulnerability to being re-trafficked and enabling them to address barriers to thriving, such as like a criminal background,
Oh, wow.
poor credit, all from their trafficking
That's
experience.
amazing.
Yeah.
People,
So-
you don't think about if you do get rescued from a horrible situation like that, how hard it is to, one, all the emotional damage that you have done, but then two, like you said, they could have had, if they were made to do sex work or something like that, like they could have records, they could have, problems. You can't start from nothing. You have to have something to get you going to be able to create a new life. So that's amazing that they're doing that.
Two awesome organizations doing amazing work. So definitely go check them out. And also, hey, like the show, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We'll do the other socials eventually, but those are the only ones that we really like to do. You can email us at deadgiveawaypodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And if there's something you don't like, direct that straight to Billy.
And I will correct Carley. So, and I will. Well, I'll make a list.
Yeah, do that.
Well, you know what? Y'all go ahead and send me that, and then I'll make a list, and we'll go over it on the show.
Wow. You're going to try to blame them for what happens to you.
No, I'm just saying. That way it's documented.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.